All right, we're finally going to talk about Swigo. Today, CG announced Chewie with 3PO backpack. Um, I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, we probably should have expected it from the Jedi Knight Luke event. I actually didn't think that they were going to release it, but we should have expected it, really. Um, I also think that it's a little lazy to just, release new editions of existing characters. But in fairness, the kit, which is pretty much the same kit from the Jedi Knight Luke event, is really cool. Um, I like that I like the concept of mixing an attacker with a support like Chewie and 3PO. The kit looks really good, like I said. I mean, the kit is going to make it. Is it going to be enough to kill GLs? I doubt it. I don't even know if the character is a legendary, if it's going to be a marquee. I didn't read the full post. I only ever look at the kit reveal because that's really what I care about the most. We don't really know. I don't think we even know, honestly, what it's going to be. It would be nice if it was a legendary, seeing as both Chewie and 3PO are both legendary characters. So it would be kind of cheap to make it a marquee, but then again, Vandor Chewbacca was a marquee. Clone Wars Chewie was a freebie. Veteran Smuggler Chewie is or was a marquee, so it could very well be a marquee. And I think that CG are feeling their margins tighten a bit as more and more Super Krakens retire, which is still very much the case. The trajectory of that has not changed. The number of Krakens retiring has probably honestly been increasing over the last 6 months rather than decreasing, as CG would obviously much prefer. Personally, I haven't spent more than $10 in this game since JKL came out. I know that's not that long ago, but before JKL came out, I hadn't spent more than $10 in the game since GLs. So I really haven't spent a whole lot of money in the game. I'm just hoarding. Because I don't see the point. I really don't see the point, and maybe it's because I'm spoiled by Game of Thrones, wherein I haven't spent money in several months and am still in the top of most of my various brackets. I'm in the number one guild on the server. So yeah, I feel pretty good about not having spent anything in Game of Thrones and still being very competitive. I really don't know that I can plug Game of Thrones enough. It's not as I guess detailed might be the word as Swigo is, which is one of the things I do like about Swigo. I like the theory crafting aspect of Swigo. Theory crafting in Game of Thrones is not nearly as challenging or fun, although it is still fun. I was talking with my Game of Thrones guildmates today about a side project build that I'm working on in Game of Thrones. And to my surprise, a couple of them said, "Oh, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that." So yeah, there is definitely still a theory crafting aspect to Game of Thrones. It's just not as rigorous as Swigo, which is my favorite part of Swigo. You guys all know, how long it takes for me to push out a GAC video, but when a rework or a new character drops, I have a video out in at most a couple hours, because that's the fun part. Unlocking, testing, experimenting, theory crafting with the new characters, new kits, new team makeups. That's by far the best part of Swigo. That's the most fun I have had. That's the most fun I will ever have in Swigo. This repetitive garbage of GAC. I used to really, really enjoy GAC, but the novelty has worn off. So GAC is poop, especially with GLs, because fuck, it's just you can never predict, what makeup a GL team your opponent is going to drop, and if you miscalculate even slightly, you're fucked. Like, you could look historically on GAC history, and someone could drop a comparatively vanilla GL team, and then you face them and they're dropping a GL with a totally different team, and you've held the wrong counter, and it's added a lot of variables to GAC, which I'm sure many are very happy with, but for me it's too much thinking. You might as well just go crazy offense heavy, which I used to do, in fairness, but that's also less fun, because then it comes down to a couple of banners, who was the more efficient, which is a totally fair way to play. It's just it's not like cheating or cheesing or anything like that. I think it's smart, but it's also still boring. If I hold both GLs, both both Revens, both Galactic Republic teams for offense, yeah, I'm probably going to clear everything one shot, but it's not as fun. I mean, I may start doing that, or I may just not give a shit about GAC. I'm pretty much at that point where I'm just going to, as my friend Ziggy would say, set it and forget it. Because I'm just tired of it, man. It's just so fucking repetitive. And to, couple that with TB or TW that's constantly running. And I love that there's something always running, but I don't like that you're having GAC on top of TV, GAC on top of TW. It's a lot. It's a lot. And, it's a lot. And I just... I want the Zetas. That's really the reason. Well, that and making videos and getting ad revenue are the reason why I've given a shit about GAC up until now. But at this point, as much as I love you guys, honestly, frankly, you guys and gals, the people that watch my videos, you guys are the only reason why I really still play this game. Partially because I like most of you, and partially because I like the ad revenue. So you guys have kept my motivation going, although it certainly has suffered of late. No fault of yours, just honestly purely because of GAC. But you guys have kept me going for as long as I have been going, so I probably will never quit this game, but certainly my level of involvement may come and go to varying degrees depending on the game mode. We'll see what the challenges look like, but for GAC, I need a fucking break of GAC, man. It's just so goddamn much. But yeah, so Thrones, great game. I've been spending a lot of time in Thrones. And it's not as in depth or as detailed as Swigo. There are certainly times where it feels like it's just not as fun as Swigo. But it is fun, a lot less stressful, and it's a lot easier to be successful without having to pay. And for me, that is probably the biggest plus to it. Because is Game of Thrones as powerful a franchise as Star Wars? Fuck no. Not even fucking close. There's no comparison. 7 seasons of a great show with 2 abortive final episodes doesn't compare with 4.5 decades of Star Wars fandom and media. And the depth of the Star Wars universe is, I mean, yeah, again, there's no comparison. So as long as this game survives, I will still play it. I may not stay in Maw 1 forever. I'm gonna try and see if not giving a shit about GAC improves my mood. Because if it does, then I will stay in Maw 1. If it does not, then I will likely ask to be moved to Maw 2 or Maw 3 so that I can still be competitive in TB, still be somewhat competitive in TW, although less so than Maw 1, obviously. And yeah, so we'll see if that works. If not, then I may drop to an MC guild, or maybe go to my good friend the Devastators Guild, GSF Alpha, because he's been a good friend pretty much since the beginning of me trying to be a real, quote unquote, real content creator. I got a lot of subscribers and a couple of channel members from GSF. So thank you to my GSF extended family. Yeah, so that's probably, those are the couple of the more likely scenarios for me in the coming weeks and months. Unless the challenges completely reinvigorate me, which is possible. I would welcome it if that is the case. Yeah, it's a lot, and I know we want more content, and we do want more content. I want more content. I just don't want that same content over and over and over and over and over again, back to back to back to back to back. It's like banging my fucking head against the wall. Like if it were sheetrock, there'd be a Mando-sized skull hole in it, probably with bits and pieces of hair and epidermis, because just of the sheer repetitiveness of the content that we have in front of us. And it's different than TB, which of course is also repeatable content. It's different than TW, which to an extent is repeatable content. And it's different than Arena or Fleet or Raid. Again, all repeatable content. Most gaming is repeatably playable content, right? If a game doesn't have resale or replay value, rather, it doesn't last very long. So the game definitely has replay value, but the problem is it's just fucking constant, bro. Fucking constant, bro. Like, I really gotta fight basically the same, was it 3, 2, 2, 1, right? So, right? Yeah. So I gotta fight the same 8 battles, more or less, every other day, over and over and over again. At least with Arena, I can auto it, and I can do it whenever the hell I want, or I don't have to do it. Sure, you could say the same about GAC. You don't have to do it, which is probably what I'm going to be doing from now on, not doing it. But it's just, first of all, there are Zetas involved, so it's different than Arena. Closer to Fleet, but Fleet is also similarly infuriating. There are some days I'll wake up still in the top 10, and there are some days I'll wake up in the 40s or 30s. But again, Fleet, for the most part, autoable. Can't auto GAC, which makes its constant presence draining. I could maybe auto GAC if I held everything for offense. Probably could do that. But then I'm going to get cleared easily. So there's not the greatest amount of benefit to that. So that's where I am. Maybe I'll experiment next GAC round with saving both GLs for offense. I don't know. Probably not, because then I'll just have a limp dick defense. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm really fucking tired of GAC, that's for sure. Felt really good about the Vader rework. Still love it. It's a great, great, great rework. It's not too overpowered. I think it's a pretty healthy level of power. JKL, that was a great release, great character, great kit. So I'm very happy with both of those things. It's really just GAC. GAC is just fucking draining. I don't want to fucking deal with that. But then the other part of me is really competitive, and if I join, then I want to battle. But then I have to, do all this thinking, like, oh, if he's got this on D, I should have this for O. If he's got this for O, then I should have this on D to try and tease that and get him to burn. It's like being your own individual territory war officer. It sucks. Anyone that's a TW officer knows what I'm talking about, because I used to be a TW officer. All that fucking planning, trying to match up theoretical matchups, it takes a lot more brain power than I currently have available. So, yeah, I'm over GAC. I'm over GAC. Looking forward to TB, because at least that I can do on my own time. I got 36 hours to do it. Right now, I'm really enjoying the 36-hour cycle for TB. I do wish there was an option to, move to the next phase if you, complete the active phase quickly. Sooner than 36 hours, so we're not waiting around. But whatever. Aside from the insane difficulty of light side GOTB, I am pretty content with TB and its format. Dark side GOTB is very, very good. It's a good balance. Yeah, you're not going to just waltz in and get 33 stars. It takes proper planning and distribution of platoons and teams and all that. Light side phases 1 through 3 are, I think, an appropriate level of difficulty, and then phase 4 is just it's just bend over, pull your pants down. Yeah, so I am looking forward to the new challenges. No idea when they're coming out. I'm looking forward to the new Chewbacca. Not sure what format that's going to be, but we'll see.